morning. So I just recently watched A Cure for Wellness, a movie that I found to be very visually stunning with a really interesting plot. And overall, it's a good reminder on why we should take chances on the weird movies, even if they don't get the greatest of reviews. So A Cure for Wellness is a 2016 horror movie about a man named Lockhart who travels to this remote wellness center in the Swiss Alps to retrieve his company's CEO. And all of the patients at this wellness spa believe that they're sick or to some degree, and they believe they found themselves in a miraculous place that's going to cure them. But as we kind of go through the story, we see Lockhart's sanity kind of start to unravel and spiral, and we see him become a victim of this mysterious spa as well. So intriguing. So my initial interest in this film honestly came from the fact that one, the aesthetics, and two, because Mia Goth was in it, and having seen her in the X trilogy, which I absolutely adore, I love that whole franchise, I kind of became a fan of her work, so that's why I wanted to watch it. So first things first, visually, my favorite thing to talk about, this movie is incredible. This movie does a fantastic job of cinematography and color grading, and you really get to see this when Lockhart first arrives at the center, and everything is so pristine, and the colors are very bold and bright. The grass is so green it doesn't look real, and the white clothing that the patients wear is almost blinding. And then when we break away from the perfection of the center and we get down into the grime, they do this cool thing where the colors get murky, the water gets really dark. They use a lot of brass and copper colors, kind of giving it that vintage tone, along with some blue-gray tones that really show that the reality of this place is not what it seems. So I really enjoyed that. I thought they did a really good job of showing the stark difference between the fantasy of this spa and the more sinister reality of it. Now, as far as the plot goes, it does have a tendency to be confusing, so you do have to pay a certain degree of attention to it. This movie is also long. It's 2.5 hours, so just be prepared for a long night if you do decide to watch this movie. When I was looking into this movie, I found out it had actually pretty mixed reviews, which was kind of shocking to me because I really liked it, and a lot of people were lost during it. And then I started to think about something. And I think that this is where we as movie viewers need to take more chances and let go of the notion of every plot detail being spelled out for us, especially in these more kind of Gothic aesthetic style movies. This movie's very atmospheric and the set design is beautiful, the costumes are too. And I think when you have these movies that are so visually stunning, a lot of the story is in the aesthetics and the visuals. And you have to allow yourself to be immersed by it and kind of let it take you somewhere. At least that's kind of what I got from this movie. I also loved all of the water shots and the shots with the eels. They found a way to make this movie absolutely disgusting and slimy, but also beautiful too. And I love when movies can find that way to kind of make the macabre gorgeous. Another movie that I kind of think was really good at doing that was the most recent Nosferatu that came out. They were really good at doing that too, and these kind of have similar colors almost, it's just not as blue as Nosferatu. So if you kind of want something that visually does that, A Cure for Wellness would be really good. So if you liked Nosferatu, check out A Cure for Wellness. Aside from that, I really liked the movie. I left it glad that I watched it. It was different. It wasn't like anything that I'd seen before. My only real criticism is I don't necessarily know if it needed to be as long as it was, but I also think that when directors get the opportunity to make passion project films like this, it's kind of worth it to let them take over and tell the whole story. So overall, I do want to give the movie a 7 out of 10, mainly because it is so beautiful. It's a little long and the plot's a little confusing, but I think that the cast did a really great job and I really did feel like I was in this kind of dark world. And it also did a really good job at making me not want to trust medical professionals. So that's a fun element to it too.